Right now at noon, we're learning the name of the man shot and killed by Beloit police officers this week. And a House panel is debating the 2 articles of impeachment against the president. An update on those discussions from Washington.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter, filling in for Mark Kane, who's on vacation this week. We start this afternoon with breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. The Rock County Medical Examiner has identified 23-year-old Monte Penning as the person shot and killed by Beloit police on Tuesday. Penning was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police say he was in what was believed to be a stolen car. They say he was armed while police were chasing him, and 3 officers fired at Penning, and they are now on leave as state officials investigate. Some snow falling across parts of Wisconsin right now. Meteorologist Dana Fulton is here now with her first alert forecast. Hi, Dana.
Hey, Josh. Some folks still dry right now. Kind of depends on what side of town you're at, where we do have some lighter snow or just a dreary, cloudy sky. Here's a live look at our WISC-TV sky cam. A lot of cloud coverage today. Unfortunately, not seeing a lot of sunshine. Our high-resolution Doppler gives a little better look at what's actually hitting the ground. Light snow around Camp Douglas, so north and west of the Dells. In Dane County, it does seem like there's a little light snowfall and some flurries near Stoughton, so southeast of Madison, but not a lot of snow coming on through, and we're not expecting much, really, for this afternoon. 34 currently in Madison, 37 in Janesville. High temperatures today, landing in the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow will stay close to freezing, and then it'll be much cooler to start off next week. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead, though, for the final day of the work week and then the weekend in just a few minutes.
At least we're a little warmer today.
A little bit of an improvement with the temps, yes.
All right, Dana, thank you. New at noon, police are investigating how a driver crashed into a pole that then fell and hit part of a strip mall. This happened along Plaza Drive in Marshall this morning. Emergency crews responded around 9 o'clock, but officials said luckily nobody was injured. That crash is still under investigation, and there's no word yet on how much damage was done to the building. Madison police say they now have probable cause to arrest a woman who allegedly punched, kicked, and then threw a teacher to the ground. This happened yesterday morning at Orchard Ridge Elementary School. Witnesses claim this started when the woman came to school to talk about how her child was disciplined. The victim was treated in the emergency room for facial and head injuries. Climate activist Greta Thunberg is responding to the president's tweet mocking her. In response to Thunberg being named Time magazine's Person of the Year, the president wrote, quote, "So ridiculous. Greta must work on her anger management problem, then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta, chill." In response, Thunberg changed her Twitter bio to say, quote, "A teenager working on her anger management problem, currently chilling and watching a good old-fashioned movie with a friend." Thunberg is the youngest person ever to be recognized as Time's Person of the Year. Members of the House Judiciary Committee are considering each of the 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump, with a vote expected later today. Skylar Henry has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump abused the powers of the presidency by...
A clerk for the Judiciary Committee began Thursday's hearing reading the impeachment resolution into the record.
In the history of the Republic, no president has ever ordered the complete defiance of an impeachment inquiry.
The committee is considering 2 charges, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The abuse of power article argues President Trump corruptly solicited the government of Ukraine to publicly announce investigations into a political opponent.
He conditioned release of vital military assistance on President Zelensky's investigations, and second, he conditioned a head of state meeting on these investigations.
Republicans call the Democratic-led proceedings corrupt and biased.
This committee has become nothing but a rubber stamp.
This is a day that will live in infamy.
Both sides are offering amendments to the articles, some big, some small, before the committee holds a vote.
This amendment makes a minor change in certain places where the underlying resolution refers to Donald J. Trump. The amendment refers to Donald John Trump.
This amendment strikes Article 1 because Article 1 ignores the truth.
Last night, the White House offered its most detailed defense yet for why it held up aid to Ukraine. A memo from the Office of Management and Budget explained that the freeze was temporary and part of a regularly used procedure to determine the best possible use of the funds. The full House is expected to vote on the articles of impeachment next week. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
If the full House votes for impeachment as expected, the case then goes to Senate for trial. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he expects it to begin in January. Well, tomorrow is Middleton Police Chief Charles Folkies' last day. The Middleton City Council has declared the day Chuck Folke Day to honor his 33 years serving that city. Folk has held 9 different positions with the police department over that time span, beginning as an intern in 1980. He's also led Middleton through the workplace shooting at WTS Paradigm last year. Folk loves French fries, and last week during his final staff meeting, a dispatch supervisor surprised him with fresh-made fries. Congratulations to him. Well, rack 'em up. The Milwaukee Bucks now have 16 straight wins under their belt. They beat the New Orleans Pelicans 127 to 112 at the Fiserv Forum last night. The Bucks took home the win without star Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was out with a sore quad. Eric Bledsoe led the team with 29 points, and Chris Middleton added 24. Tomorrow, the Bucks take on the Grizzlies in Memphis. Former Green Bay Packers Brett Favre and Jordy Nelson will both be inducted into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. They'll be part of the 70th anniversary class being inducted in on June 5th. Favre and Nelson will join nearly 150 other great Wisconsin athletes, including Barry Alvarez, Bud Selig, and Donald Driver. Preparation for New Year's in Times Square is already underway this noon. The 7-foot-tall 2020 numerals that'll be used for the iconic ball drop have arrived. The 2 and the 0 are out on display for the next week for a photo op background. Performers for this New Year's celebration include Dan and Shay, New Kids on the Block, Bastille, and Christina Aguilera. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
This year, why not shake things up by serving everyone their very own perfectly sized main dish? Any ideas to what we're making? Any? This year, why not shake things up at your next dinner party or Christmas dinner by serving everyone their very own perfectly sized main dish? It's something that my mom used to make, and to this day, I still love it. I'm talking about individual roasted Cornish hens. Not only do they look special, but they're super flavorful and so easy to make. In case you're not familiar with Cornish hens, they're basically a cousin to the chicken, only smaller and more tender. Each one's about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. To make them, all we do is stuff each one with a wedge of lemon and some fresh rosemary. Then we tuck the wings back, like this, and tie, or as it's officially called, truss, the legs together with some butcher twine. Now we place them in a roasting pan on a rack, season them with some olive oil and a bit of salt and pepper, and add garlic cloves all around it. Then we pour a mixture over them that we made by mixing together some Dijon mustard, white wine, and chicken broth. And then into the oven they go. After roasting for about an hour with lots of basting throughout, they're done. Talk about one of the juiciest holiday main dishes you've ever tasted. And since everyone gets their very own, it looks even more la-di-da. To get the recipe for our lemon rosemary roasted Cornish hens, head over to our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a perfectly sized way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
A bit warmer out there today, but we're tracking some snowfall this afternoon. Dana's back with your full forecast on News 3 Now at noon. Weekly unemployment claims have hit a 2-year high, and love it or loathe it, the holiday hassle is real. Diane King-Hall has today's Money Watch.
Jobless claims jumped to a 2-year high last week. According to the Labor Department, first-time filings for weekly jobless claims rose by 49,000 to 252,000. Claims fell to a 7-month low in the previous week. Analysts say the dramatic fluctuation may be tied to a late Thanksgiving Day this year. A holiday bonus for Southwest Airlines workers. Boeing has struck a deal with the airline that would include $125 million in compensation for Southwest employees. The payout is part of a compensation agreement for damages incurred following the grounding of the 737 MAX jet. High health care costs are hitting holiday spending. According to AFLAC, more than half of Americans polled say health care bills have taken a bite out of what they would have spent on the holidays. To make ends meet, households are cutting back on gifts and travel. And is it really the most wonderful time of the year, or is it the most stressful? A new survey by Express Employment Professionals found that just 16% of bosses love this time of year and 30% of workers. Among the top issues for bosses were last-minute projects and juggling time off requests. For employees, asking for time off was also stressful, along with coworker gifts and the annual holiday party. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
All green on the Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow is up 130 points, NASDAQ up 36, and S&P 500 up almost 19. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Meteorologist Dana Fulton is here now with your first alert forecast. A few flakes out there, Dana.
Just a few. Otherwise, a mostly cloudy sky. But as we look at our high-resolution Doppler, it really does depend on where you're located at, whether or not you're seeing snow right now. So Grant County, all nice and dry. Most of Iowa County seems to be dry now. Same goes for Sauk, unless you're in the very northwest corner, the northern corner of Richland County. Most of Dane County is dry, but this little southeast swath here, including Stoughton, heading down 39 towards Rock County, you might see a little bit of snow, but otherwise just mostly cloudy. The lighter snowfall, I guess we should say the heavier snowfall is up towards Camp Douglas, but still not heavy snowfall right now. So not going to see a lot of accumulation, though we still have a little bit of time over the next few hours to have this period of snow pass on through. We'll continue to see the chance for a little mix south of Madison and then north of Madison, where temperatures are closer to freezing, if not just a little below. There is the possibility to pick up about an inch, up to 3 inches for some isolated areas towards Black River Falls, but not a major snow event for today. It is really just for the next few hours, and then the chance to have anything coming down just dries on up. Right now we're pretty dry at the ground, and if you travel further north into the atmosphere, it's actually pretty dry up there as well right now for most of the area. But again, this chance is just for the next few hours. Your drive home likely not going to include anything more than the chance for just a few flurries. A mostly cloudy sky expected. It's a little breezy coming from the south, and that's helped our temperatures climb a little bit. So areas where we are seeing those temps in the upper 30s, closer to 40 degrees along the state line, there's a little chance for some wintry mix possible, or just a few raindrops mixed in with these snowflakes. Heading towards your drive home, again, not expecting anything falling at that time. Overnight, we stay mostly cloudy with the chance for a few flurries, not enough to pick it up on our radar. And then for tomorrow morning, we're mostly cloudy in the start of the day, and we will have a chance for some lighter snow to start to develop later in the evening, passing through right around your drive home. Now, that little line might bring a little more accumulation, or I should say a little more of a visibility concern with the snow actually coming down at a time. So that'll be for Friday evening. We'll be keeping a closer eye on if that line kind of materializes a little more rather than just some light snow quickly passing through, or if it is more of a snow event passing on through. Again, not a big accumulating event, but with those snowfall times coming up right around your drive home for Friday, it'll be something we'll keep an eye on for tomorrow afternoon. Right now we're at 35 in Madison. Madison, close enough to freezing that we could still see some snow, especially since the ground is so cold outside. Wind chill puts us closer to 25. Overnight, temperatures will drop a little bit into the upper 20s, so not quite as cold. Mostly cloudy sky expected. The breeze backs off a little bit, 6 to 12 miles per hour overnight heading into Friday morning. Might see a little bit of flurry action for early Friday morning, but nothing that's really going to add up to much. Mid to upper 30s for the next 2 days, and then we cool down quite a bit again. Back closer to freezing for Saturday with the chance for some snowfall. And heading into the second half of the weekend and the start of next week, we get the sunshine back. So mostly sunny skies, but it is going to be colder outside into the 20s. At least our overnight lows will not be dropping into the single digits. That's the good news. The bad news, it is going to fall below average for several days. We don't have any more snow chances, though, until we head towards the end of next week. So the light chance for some flurries for the next few days. That's really our only opportunity for any precipitation coming up.
I know a lot of people hoping for a white Christmas.
They're really hoping. It's still a little too far out to kind of hammer down the timing on that, but I can say that in that 10-day outlook and even looking at our 15-day outlook, they're not holding a lot of moisture right now. It's pretty dry. So I'm on Team White Christmas.
Me
I really
too.
am.
Fingers
so,
crossed.
Yes. If we could get something in, that would be great.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, still ahead for us, Marissa DeGroot is here from the Dane County Humane Society to introduce us to the Pet of the Week. Keep watching News 3 Now at noon. Welcome back, everyone. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with a little special fluff ball, and she's already loving me.
This is Dilly Bean, and she is an adult Angora rabbit, but you might notice that she's kind of sporting a bit of a wild haircut right now. So Dilly Bean was actually found stray, believe it or not, in Madison, and when she came in, she was in pretty rough shape. She had mats all over her, so we did have to cut a lot of those out. And although you can't see it, she does only have 3 legs.
Okay.
So she had a pretty bad break. We did have to amputate that leg, but you can see it doesn't slow this girl up a bit.
She still gets around really, really well.
She really does. She is just a social, really happy girl.
So what does it take to actually take care of a rabbit?
Yeah, so what they need is, you know, a lot of out of the cage playtime. You want to have a nice housing setup for them, but they are such social, curious creatures that they really do want to run around and play and keep their brains really active.
I would think, like, as far as food, that probably doesn't take too much.
Yep, you want to have a nice balanced diet for them, specifically with Dilly Bean here, with this beautiful mane that's going to keep growing in. Angora rabbits do need to be groomed almost daily.
Okay.
So if you are loving just kind of brushing that hair, and she does love it, I think you would be a good match.
Good for all ages, you think?
I think as long as they're aware that there is some special handling with bunnies, you do want to be gentle with them. And again, because she is missing that one back leg that can be a little sensitive, as long as they're respectful of her and her space, I think they'll do great.
Okay, and last week's pet, still available?
Still available. We had IPA there, and oh my gosh, sweet as can be, and look at that adorable face. She is still available, so you can come to the shelter and meet Dilly Bean and IPA.
Okay, and one more thing you wanted to talk about, especially this time of the year, is cats and cold cars.
Yes, now that it's getting chilly out, we want to remind people to give a tap on that hood. You could be saving a life of a cat who might be crawling into that the hood of the car just to stay warm. So give a tap on there and you could be saving a cat's life.
All right, well, as always, thank you very much, and let's get Dilly Bean adopted,
come visit her.
So cozy, especially this time of the year. All right, let's get a final check of the forecast with Dana.
These fuzzy ears are killing me over here right now. It is still chilly outside, but thankfully not as cold as where we've been for the last few days. In Madison, we're in the mid-30s, mostly cloudy. We don't have any light snow in Madison, but there is still some chances for light snow in the next few hours. Some flurries possible also. Wind chill puts us a little closer to 27 for what it feels like outside. Mid to upper 30s for afternoon highs today and for Friday. We'll have mostly cloudy skies for the next several days. Again, that snow chance for us for Thursday is just in the next few hours now. For Friday, there is going to be the chance for some flurries developing in the late afternoon and evening, and then Saturday, a chance for snow during the day. High temperatures on Saturday. Little deceptive. They won't be in the afternoon. That'll be early in the day, and then temps will fall during the day in the 20s in the afternoon. The second half of the weekend is going to bring the sunshine back, but it's also going to bring back some cooler temperatures. We drop back to the 20s for our afternoon highs for Sunday. Overnight lows won't fall to the single digits, but it'll still be very cold outside early Sunday and early Monday morning. Next week right now does look pretty dry. Sunshine to start off the week. Temperatures in the 20s for Monday and Tuesday. By the end of the week, we climb back up to the 30s with our next chance for some flurries pushing in for the end of the week. So a dry trend for next week. So if we can get a little bit of light snow in the next few days, that might be a good thing for some folks who like the snowfall.
All right, Dana, thank you, and thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon.